love koalas, especially their fluffy ears. I think we should paint one. Let's get started. Take your spray bottle, spray your pans of paint, put some water in your palette. Let's start with our liner brush. And load our brush with yellow ochre. Let's start with those fluffy ears. Start about right here. And then another one. And then start shaping the face around here. Now, let's stop a moment and just soften the lines. I'm just wetting my brush and spreading the paint a little bit. Now this koala is sitting on a tree. And let's start doing the tree. Load your liner brush with burnt umber. And this tree is going to come down along the face of the koala. It's just sitting on that tree, peeking over, looking at you. And there's a branch that comes out this way. Load your brush as needed. Bring it all the way down there. And like that. Now let's take our brush and soften those lines. Again, I'm just dipping my liner brush in the water. And just spreading that paint a little more here. Now, if your line is too light and you cannot see it, just add a little more paint. I'm having trouble seeing that line, so I'm going to add a little more paint there. That's good. Okay. Now let's go clean your brush and go back to loading our liner with yellow ochre. The koala has an arm that is reaching around the tree here. Now I don't want that line there, and I'm just going to use some water and get rid of that line like that, because that's where the hand's going to be. That's okay. Okay, and then you still see a little bit of the body here. Like that. And then also a little bit over here. Now let's soften those lines a little bit. And if you need a little more paint so you can see the line, go ahead and load your brush. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's give it a quick dry. Still staying with our liner brush, let's work on the eyes of the koala. And the eyes are really dark, and they're going to be about right here. And then the koala has a dark nose. So to make that color, let's use our burnt umber and ultramarine blue here. Get that dark color and put the eyes. They're about right here, and another one on this side. There's a little reflection on the eyes, so you will want to leave a white spot. And come and do the other side like that. Now let's do the nose. I think I need a little more blue on my mixture. You can always test your color on your paper towel. Now the nose is about right here. And that looks a little blue. So I'm going to go back and add a little more burnt umber to my mixture there. And the nose comes down like this. Okay. Let's give it another quick dry. Go ahead and clean your brush and load your, let's switch brushes and use our round with pointed tip brush and load it with burnt umber, and let's add some brown. Now the bear, I need to add more water to my brush there, has a white spot on the chest, so I don't want to fill in the space about right here. And let's spread some of this brown paint around. Now the hand, it has three fingers showing and one that's wrapping a little bit around the tree like that. Go ahead and spread more paint around. Go up into the face with that burnt umber. It's a little bit too thick. Just water it. Dip your brush in the paint. Put some on the ears. Around the eye. You might want to be careful not to get too close to the eye because it will smear the paint. Need some more paint. Let's put some of that over here. Down by the nose. Along here. Along here. Down below the nose. It's a little bit too light. A little more color on that one. Spread that paint. Put some down here. Some on the other side here. over here. Okay, let's give it a good dry. Okay, there is some gray on the koala. Take your round pointed brush and put some white on your palette here. Put quite a bit. Now I have some of that dark mixture, which is the burnt umber and ultramarine blue. And I'm going to take a dab of that paint, and that's going to create a gray. There's a nice gray color. So let's add some gray. And you will want some of the lighter colors to show through. So just put some slashes there and let some of that other color peek through. Bring it down to the nose. Some on the ear there. Some of it kind of sticks out funny. Go around the eye. Need to make more of the mixture here. And what I like to do is keep the dark mixture here and the light there, and you can just grab some of the white there to make the gray. Continue to spread that and make slashes, leaving some of the other color show through. Some of that gray sticking out. Bring it down here. Around here. And if you think it's too dark, you can just use your brush and stroke it, and that will lift some of the paint out. Let's put some down here. Some along the arm. Some below. Some here. Now there's even some plain white, and you can just dip your brush in the white and just go right on the paper and let it kind of mix and gel with the paint. Except now I think it's time to switch to my liner brush. There's some white hairs showing through. And you can just kind of mix it on the paper. Let it blend and gel. And there's just some little dark spots kind of showing the mouth. That's a little too dark, but I am going to work it. And my choices is to dry my brush a little bit and lift some of that paint out. And that's what I want to do. Lift some of that out. Kind of like that. That's looking pretty good. Now, along the hand here, it gets darker. And at the end of each of these fingers, There's a little nail sticking out like that. And there's part of the hand there. Again, we don't have to, we're just making the impression of something we see. And yours will probably be different than mine. And that's okay, because we're all different. And that's what makes art fun, is everyone does it a little differently. Okay, now let's work on the tree a little bit. The tree is pretty light. It needs some depth, some texture to it. So let's start by using some yellow ochre and put some of that color in the tree. And I'm being careful when I'm going around the wet paint because it will spread, and depending on if I want it to spread. In this case, around here, I don't. So I'm staying clear of that. A little more over here. Let's give it a good dry. So next, let's use our liner brush and load it with some burnt umber. It's a little dark. Just going to water that down a little bit. Let's add a little burnt sienna to that. The two browns together make a really nice combination. Bring it down. A little bit over here. Need to load my brush more. Some on the side here. Let's add a little more to the top here. So I need to, now that this paint is dry here, I can add a little more color without it running. So if you work on different areas of your painting, that will give certain areas to dry, and then it's easier to go back and fill in those spots. We need a little bit more here. Around here. And right here. Like that. He's hanging on. He's hanging on, peeking out at you. Okay, let's work on the nose a little bit. and bring the nose up a little bit closer to the eyes. Right here. Just a little bit. He has that big dark nose. That's pretty good. Let's round this off. Like that. Okay. Now let's work on the ears. Let's add some white here. A little bit here. Add some to the other ear. Some below here. Now that we added white, we need to add a little darker color. So let's use some of our brown here and put it with a gray. And put a spot right below the ear here. And same thing on the other side here. Spreading the paint. Now let's stop and give it a good dry. Okay. Just thinking what to do next. Sometimes I need to pause and just look, think, evaluate. Okay. I'm going to wet my brush here and spread this paint a little more on the ears. Doing this on the same side, other side here. That's looking better. Now, on the ears, there's a dark spot. So let's use our dark mixture here, burnt umber with ultramarine blue. And there's just a little dark shadow cast in those ears. Do that on the other side. Just like that. Little dark shadow casting in the ears. Like that. That's looking pretty good. Go ahead and rinse your brush and let's add some white on the tip of the ears here like that. Just a little bit. A little more down here. A little more down here on the nose. Some more on the side here. Let's put some white down here. I think that's looking pretty good. Now let's switch brushes and work on the background. And since it's a bigger space, I'm using my round with pointed tip brush. Let's use some sap green and start here and spread that paint. And load your brush as needed. Need a little more here. It's in a lush green forest. Looking out, being curious. And spread it here and down below. A little more. Now I'm not going all the way out to the edges. I want to leave some to the imagination of your mind. And that is also because this style is called a vignette. And I love that style of composition. It's very fun. I find it fun and fascinating, and I hope you do too. Spread some more on this other side here. Need more paint. Bring it out. Just let it flow. You want to try and, if you find that you're gripping your brush really hard, that's time to just stop. Take a deep breath, relax. You're doing great. Spread some more up here. Some up by the ear. Don't need much, just a little bit. Some more up here. Almost there. A little more on the other side of the ear here. So again, pause, look at your painting, and stand back. When you're looking at your painting, you don't want to be like this, because then you're looking at every stroke and thinking, oh, I did this wrong. Oh, I did that. But when you stand back, you look at it and you might think, oh, that looks okay. That's pretty darn good. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Join me again, and please subscribe.